And maybe, we talked about the lineup before the game, Daniel. I said I would start with Greg Taylor. I thought Jeffrey Schlupp put on a commendable performance, but it was always going to be a difficult one against Elise. Elise was by far and away
he's a brilliant player,
most threatening looking player. Was he getting the level of cover that Maida might have provided from Jota? Maybe it wasn't. There were times when it looked a bit exposed. You know that Maida's just going to shuttle back and forth and provide that extra bit of cover. So that was a big sort of call for Brendan Rodgers to dismantle the left-hand side of his team. But then Jota comes up with that moment of quality. Should he score it? Probably should make a better contact. But Celtic did what they had to do. They stayed in it. They kept themselves alive. They kept themselves relevant in the match. And then they got the goal. And by the way, I don't think anybody's really talked about it that I've seen yet. What about Maida's contribution for that goal?
I was going to say, all down to Maida's determination.
Even
never
by
say die, actually.
Maida's standards, that's ridiculous.
Aye.
He's basically, I think he's won the tackle out in the left touchline. The ball and the contact he's made has sent the ball. So I genuinely looking at that, think he's had to make up about 35 yards to get to that ball. And the Bayern defender that was closest was probably 20 yards. I think he's taken 15 yards out of 30 yards on to get to the ball first. And then it's not as if he just gets there. He gets there with time to slide through and put the ball exactly where he wanted to put it. And then, Kuhn shows the determination to shrug off a challenge. Great composure, again, that key word, to slot it away. And at that point, everyone just felt really set up. I don't know. I don't know, Daniel, you tell me, did you think Celtic ran out of legs towards the end?
I think that would be a little bit harsh, but I mean, people I was going to ask you about Jeffrey Schlupp. Were you surprised? I mean, look, Sam McGowan here saying Jeffrey Schlupp, new number one left back. There's an arm in the face of me that should have been a foul. Proud of the boys. There's a lot of people saying that Schlupp is the new left back now. Here we go. Schlupp was superb. I did think he ran it. Looked a bit leggy in the final minutes, and when Sani wouldn't give up, when Sani just wouldn't give up on him, you kind of thought
he's had a lack of football, hasn't he?
Aye, but I thought he was great generally.
I thought he was. I thought that he. Do you know something? I think he had a real tough shift.
Yeah.
Against Alessi, and do you know what? Anybody's going to have a real tough shift up against him. But I thought he stuck to it manfully. Do
you know what I thought was interesting?
He grew a bit stronger as it went on.
What I thought was interesting, Keith, that matchup was that they were both at Crystal Palace together, and Schlupp would have been a bit more of a senior player. And I just thought that's a kind of weird, I don't know, a weird matchup. Maybe that kind of played in Elise's mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it.
But I still think Elise was. He
was brilliant. He was really
good. Top quality. But it's interesting, isn't it? That you're looking at this Bayern Munich side and saying a guy from Crystal Palace is now probably the most threatening player.
He was brilliant. Look.